Video. Sometimes it depends on the guests they have in the hotel.
You're pretty packed today.
That? Because right now I'm up to 18 people that didn't register. So when 18 people,
I put 70 plates out. So
when 18 people don't register, that's yeah.
Good afternoon and happy June, everybody. Welcome to the start of summer finally. Are we leaving January finally? Getting into the right month for the right season. It's good to see you all here today. If you are joining us virtually, please make sure you put your name into the YouTube chat. Jessica, you are up first today to do our four-way test and the land acknowledgement.
yeah, Jessica.
All right, let's do this together. Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Right, and the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that our meeting today is taking place on the traditional homeland of the Puyallup people. We acknowledge that this land was not freely ceded to the settlers who claimed it. We recognize and honor the significance of this land and its waters to the Puyallup people who have lived on and stewarded this land for centuries and continue to do so today.
You may be seated. And now for our reflection today, Diane Tilstra.
Thank you. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests, all of our wonderful guests here. This is one of our best days when we distribute grants. Today is brought to you by the letter C for compassion. Remember who made that famous? Today is brought to you by the letter C. There you go. That's right. Our community, our state, and our nation is in a historic moment of rupture. As Rotarians, it's important for us to hold compassion for each other as a model to others. So I've got 6 easy ways to stay rooted in compassion right now. Number 1, pause and breathe. Mindful breathing helps us respond, not with reaction. Number 2, listen. Your full attention without judgment. Number 3, reach out. A small message of care can be a lifeline to someone feeling alone. Number 4, stay curious. Compassion thrives when we ask questions instead of making assumptions. Number 5, act locally. A kind gesture in your home, neighborhood, or school ripples outward and serves as a model to others. And last but not least, engage in supporting your Rotary events and engage in aid to your community. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. It is a new month, which means it's a new Rotary month. And today we start Rotary Fellowships Month. We recognize the importance of international goodwill among Rotarians with similar recreational vocational interests and to help increase participation in fellowship. If you haven't gone to the fellowship page on My Rotary, it is amazing. And especially when the international convention is happening, it's a good time to find out about some of those other fellowships around. So keep an eye open. We do have some visiting Rotarians today and members with guests. So if you are a visiting Rotarian or a member with a guest, please stand, and Cindy's going to bring around the microphone to you to introduce.
Okay. So I want to introduce my guest, Laura Stone, first Kamala Houston, who's the grant writer extraordinaire. I know you cannot steal her.
Good afternoon, Sharon Chambers Gordon. I'm the long lost prodigal. I'm delighted to be back today, and I want to introduce my wonderful leadership team member from Raising Girls, Dale Golder, who has joined me, and Carly Santa Cruz.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to introduce Tacoma's librarian, Amita Lonia.
Hello everybody, I'm Emilio. Exchange student from Germany. The past week, me and the group and all the other exchange students went back up to the CBAC and just had a fun time all together, and we also had our amazing district conference.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruth exchange student from Uganda. As Emil said, we had a wonderful time at CBEC getting to get together with the exchange students on our side, which is pretty sad, saying goodbye. And then I had the wonderful honor of speaking in front of the district conference to talk about my experience. It was such an honor, so thank you so much. Thank you.
Great. Anybody with us in YouTube land? Oh, wait, hold on. Jim's got his hand up for another.
Thank you. Jim Whitaker, Board Member Emeritus of Winquist Dental Clinic. My distinct pleasure to introduce two friends. Please stand up. Mike Moad and his wife, Jan Runbeck. Jan was our 2014 Community Service Award winner.
Good afternoon, Carlin Sampson from Rebuilding Homosexual Self. Writer.
Adult recording for adult.
Hi, Claire Eichmann with Emergency Food Network, and I have Clayton Caitlin, our Corporate Collaboration Relations Coordinator with me today.
All right, great. Anybody with us on YouTube?
As of the moment, no views.
All right, thank you very much. And speaking of the district conferences, as Emil mentioned, how many of you went to the district conference? Yes. Did we all have a good time? Yeah. It was a great conference. So next time it's in Tacoma or when it's in Canada next year, make sure you sign up to go. It's a lot of fun. Let's recognize some Rotarian anniversaries today. Please stand if you are here. Russ Joseph with 29 years. Peter Carlson with 24 years. Mark Anderson with 22 years. Josh Rendition with 16 years. And to the day for me, 11 years. Birthday time. If you're way up to the front, Paul Sherry makes her way up to the podium.
And the birthday celebrants for June, join me up here. Thank you. So this week is officially America the Beautiful Week, and we live in a beautiful state, the state of Washington. So the birthday question is, where in Washington would you like to see that you haven't already been to? Oh, okay. Who would like to start us off?
Thank you. Cheap but good. You know, normally for us, as we're aging, and every one of us is aging, we get the question ahead of time so that, make you think actually something. Where would I like to go that I have not been in Washington? I would like to go to Lori Harney's house for dinner. Because her husband Blake is very very social and entertaining. She's a good cook. He's a really good cook. I'd like to go there for my birthday. I just can't be that entertaining. Of all the places in Washington, I've been many, but I've never been to Nia Bay, and I've always thought it would be a really great place to visit.
Well, I could return the favor, Linda Kay, but I won't. I'd like to go to Mount St. Helens. I've never only seen it from afar, so I'd like to see the top.
And Sherry, thank you for leading the celebrations this month. It's time to introduce a new member. Emily Mendez-Bryant, please head to the podium, and we all get to meet Diane Lyons today.
Bring it down. Hi, everybody. Aloha.
Aloha.
Hey. Celebrations. Okay, Diane Lyons. I am very excited to introduce her to our club. She's not only my colleague, but she's also a friend of mine. And I've known her through the Association of Fundraising Professionals South Sound chapter. And she's just been an active 20-member board. And it's very and it's been fun. The best experience I've had with her is that her and I went to St. Louis together, yes, St. Louis, for a conference for nonprofit leaders, and we ate, we drank, and we ate and drank and socialized. She is a CFRE, she's a chartered advisor in philanthropy, but she's also currently the director of development for the Nonprofit Association of Washington. Most importantly, she is, or she was, foundation chair and past president for the Federal Rotary Club. And so she has decided to transition to Rotary 8. And yeah, thank you. We love you already. Wow. Service above self is all about Diane, and she is just kind, steadfast, and all about our community. So welcome, Diane. Come on up.
Thank you, Emily. I appreciate it. I appreciate the introduction. I'm so excited to meet everybody here. There are so many of you, which is new to me because our little Federal Way Club was all of 25 people. So it's really an honor to be here and to join you all, and thank you for the kind introduction. So yeah, a little bit about me. I did join Rotary in 2016, and within 5 years, somehow found myself as president. So that's how it works in Rotary, right? I honestly believe that when you get involved in your community, you make your community better, which is why I work in the nonprofit sector. Is what drew me to the nonprofit sector. I've volunteered my whole life. I've worked with volunteers my whole life. I love volunteering with others. I really feel like your impact is magnified when you all work together toward a common mission, which you all are familiar with. So that's exciting. Little bit just personally about me. I have been married to a man that I've known since I was 10 years old. I know that sounds gross, but we didn't get married that young. It sounds like time in Tacoma than anywhere, so I'm sure I'll see you all around. As Emily said, I work for the Nonprofit Association of Washington, so I'm their new director of development. I've been there 4 whole months, but I'm super looking forward to meeting all of the nonprofit professionals that are part of Rotary, the Rotary Club down here. So I'll be talking to all of you. Excited to meet you all. What else? I think we kind of covered it. I made a couple of notes, but I think we kind of covered it. So just an active participant in Rotary, and I look forward to joining in and helping wherever you need me.
As the newest member of our club, we have your certificate with your membership into our club. There you go. We have a new pin for you to be wearing. And I just broke the plug bag. All right, we have your pin to wear proudly while you're out and about. And Emily, we have a sponsor pin for you to wear proudly out and about. And we also have the 8th Wonder. We are Rotary Club number 8 because we're the 8th Rotary Club. So let's give you a little bit of the background of how our club is about.
Yeah.
Welcome, Diane. All right. Last week, we gave away money to high school seniors going off to college. This week, we're going to give away some money to some very well-deserving organizations within our own community. So, Rick Triggs, come up and let's give away some money.
Hello, everybody. One of my favorite times of the year, giving out money. And as you know, CFO doesn't like to give out money. So we had a very active grant period this last year. We had 40 grant applications this year, which is about 82% increase over 2 years ago. So a lot of applications to go through, but managed to spend every last penny we have. So a large number to go through, so I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. If we could have Emergency Food Network, Clayton Hagelin, come up. Emergency Food Network, if you have gone through the break bags and sorted them, they scored 100% on their application. In 2024, EFN distributed 6,000 break bags through school districts and partners. Each bag costs about $40 and provides 15 pounds of age-appropriate healthy food options to ensure youth do not go hungry during the school breaks. Thank you. I forgot to introduce Mary Lynn Pannon is up here helping me today. Next one up is Rebuilding Hope, Marissa Ryder. Rebuilding Hope, continuum of care for youth who have experienced sexual violence. They scored 98%, and you'll hear an overwhelming theme of the percentage scores people are scoring. It's really high. Rebuilding Hope offers support and healing through advocacy and therapy for those affected by sexual assault or abuse. This grant will provide comprehensive care for youth who have experienced sexual assault through street outreach and therapy. They also provide food and basic needs for runaway youth living on the streets. Thank you. Next one, Tacoma Pierce County Habitat for Humanity, Juliana Glore. She has one of the back tables. Tacoma Pierce County Habitat for Humanity Aging in Place program scored 93%. Home repairs and modifications so they can stay in their homes rather than moving to health care. Last year, the program served 47 households. Next up, Tacoma Youth Symphony, Laura Stone, please. Tacoma Youth Symphony Association, the Community Music Project scored 92%. The Community Music Program at Tacoma Youth Symphony focuses on providing free musical experiences to youth and seniors who may not otherwise have access. They provided over 100 instructional visits last year in 51 schools and totaled 9,000 service units were offered last year. Next up, Friends of the Children, J.R. Nobles. Friends of the Children, Tacoma, empowering Tacoma youth, scored 98%. Friends of the Children empowers youth experiencing poverty, trauma, and the foster system by providing year-round intensive mentoring services. Children ages 4 to 6 are paired with highly trained, paid professional mentor friends providing 3 to 4 hours per week of individualized mentoring. Last year, they served 64 children. Next, Bielo Vocation, Sherry Jensen and Jan Runback. Vallejo, thank you. Vocation, the program is the Yakima Free Clinic. It's the Yakima Street, not Yakima, Eastern Washington. Scored 100%. This project provides the necessary health care for the homeless at the Activity House. The grant will help to provide full-time nursing. They also patients after surgery or after emergency care when there is nowhere else for them to be released and come out of the hospitals from taking beds. So they're saving taxpayer dollars in doing so. Thank you. Puget Sound, Emily Nakata Olm and Shayla Miles. The Boys and Girls Club, Puget Sound, the program is nutritional food program, scored 100%. The Boys and Girls Club of South Puget Sound does an amazing job of filling gaps in food insecurity. They serve 82,300 and meals in 2024. Bryant Neighborhood Center, Nikki Davidson.
All right.
Bryant Neighborhood Center, this is the BNC education program, scored 100%. Bryant Neighborhood Center is a comprehensive community-driven center in the Hilltop area of Tacoma. The center provides comprehensive community services. Rotary funds would be used to support the following programs: one-on-one tutoring to school identified low literacy performers, family STEAM opportunities for hand-on workshops, free weekly drop-in preschool program for families, science and arts-based day camps, and healthcare services for the underserved. Next up, Raising Girls, Sharon Chambers Gordon. Raising Girls provided, the program is providing students with basic needs, scored 100%. Raising Girls is a nonprofit which provides hygiene and menstrual products to low-income youth. In 2024, they delivered over 7,000 care bags containing 75,900 hygiene and sanitary products to students in 142 schools across 14 districts. Currently, they provide care bags for boys and girls in 48 Tacoma schools. Next up, Metropolitan Development Council. Metropolitan Development Council, better known as MDC, provides permanent supportive housing program, scored 100% as well. They provide comprehensive programs focused on housing, behavioral health, and education. They work to be service partners for affordable housing, which includes individual service plans for all. MDC served over 600 unduplicated individuals in their supportive and supported housing programs in 2024, and expect to serve at least that many again in 2025. Next, St. Vincent de Paul, Lindsay Ryan. Hispanic and Immigrant Assistance Program, they scored 93%. The Hispanic and Immigrant Assistance Program works to provide a continuum of resources and care to our unhoused and housed in need who are facing crisis and instability. Connection to coordinated entry is done on site to include diversion and prioritization assessments. An average of 15 clients are seen per day. Last year, 5,500 people were served. And the last one who wasn't able to attend is Rebuilding Together South Sound, the Safe at Home program. They also scored 93%. Rebuilding Together South Sound works together. Their mission is to repair homes, revitalize communities, and rebuilding lives by providing free home repairs and modifications for low-income homeowners who are seniors, people with disabilities, veterans, or families living with children. Thank you very much. This is what our auction dollars go to. By every dollar we get goes into programs much like the grants program, doing service not only just locally but globally for Rotary. So thank you all for all that you give.
If you all remember the grant committee, stand up and get applause as well. Members of the grant committee. Ready to do it again shortly. All right, Andrew Sizzlak. Yeah. Come tell us a little about Project Greater Good.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I somehow naively was not prepared to speak today. I don't have my backpack with me, so I feel lighter and less burdened. But you'll recall at the start of the Rotary year, I challenged the club to contribute generously to Project Greater Good. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, that is our annual giving campaign program that our club puts together. It supports international projects. RI International supports Polio Plus, supports our local grants committees and other committees, and really helps create impact in our local communities, just like our lovely auction event does as well. We're wrapping up our Rotary year, and I've got 80 pounds to carry for one more mile, and I'll be doing that on June 19th. I'll be hiking from the Tacoma Dome here to the hotel, and if anybody feels like tagging along and, I don't know, jumping on my back to make it even harder, you're welcome to join me. But it's going to be a blast. Not only did we exceed our community goal of $80,000 raised for this year, but we are just less than $500 short of our stretch goal of $100,000. We've got about 25 days left in this Rotary year, so if anybody feels moved to just do a little bit more and get us over, that'd be great. Or if you want bragging rights to be part of the success, right, because you haven't yet contributed, any amount is awesome and great. We'd love for that, okay? So hope to see you on the 19th for some fun, and hopefully you won't be sweating as much as me.
What time and where to meet? We want to walk that last
That
mile.
is a fantastic point, and I should have.
11 a.m.
Oh, it's on the slide.
Ah,
No, it's not. 11 a.m. So 11 a.m. It was which our parking lot. You'll see a group of us. I'll be suffering. It'll be obvious. But we'd love to have you hike over and just celebrate. Maybe we'll play like the Rock You theme song as we come through the doors or something like that. I'm going to be carrying 80 pounds of rice, but I'm told we can't throw it at each other afterwards. So we'll take it to one of the food pantries and put it to good use. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody who's a TGG donor this year. Now, Lori Harnick is our meeting sponsor for today. So, Lori, come on down. And you can do double blue up here in just a moment,
All right. Hi, everybody. Happy to sponsor today's meeting on behalf of our Goodwill, the Olympics and Rainier region. Do we have a slide? There it is. So just taking a moment to tell you, if you shop in our stores, you're going to start seeing a bit more marketing of our mission. So we have a new advertising creative called Where There's Goodwill, There's a Way. And where there's goodwill, there's a way to donate, to shop, to change lives, and to build community. And the reason you'll start is we really felt the need to make that tighter connection for people who are donating or shopping to understand where does it all go? What is the impact of what you're doing as a donor or a shopper? And that's really to help build new lives, support the community, help people find their path of education or jobs or careers. And so where there's goodwill, there's a way. And hopefully you'll start seeing this in the stores around this area and throughout our 15-county region. So that's all I'm going to share on goodwill, because I'm going to cede the rest of my time to our speakers. And is that the next part of the agenda?
That is.
Just checking. Okay. So I'm happy to introduce our speakers today. We have from the Tacoma Library, we have both Wayne Williams and Anita Lonial. Wayne serves as the chair of the foundation board for the library, and Anita is the director. So Wayne is a very good friend of mine, so I'm really delighted to introduce Wayne. He and I serve together on the Greater Tacoma Community Foundation board, so we've gotten to know each other very well over the last number of years. And if you don't know, I think a lot of people know Wayne, because a lot of people were trying to sit next to him, trying to grab my seat. But for those of you who don't know Wayne, he is a really amazing community advocate. And he's a really accomplished leader in the business field as well. He has, for 4 decades, has worked in business management, education, and community development. He's a pretty smart cookie as well. He holds an MBA from the Wharton School of Business, an MSc in Computer Information Sciences, and a BS in Mathematics. So, Wayne, thank goodness I didn't have to do any spreadsheet work with you. Handled that very well. But he has built an amazing expertise in strategic planning, and what's been really wonderful is he's turned all of that talent to good for the community. So, Wayne, I'm going to invite you and Anita to come up and tell us a little bit about the Tacoma Library and the Library Foundation.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Let me start by thanking Lori and Diane Kilstra for this opportunity to speak to you today. So thank you very much. And I see a lot of good friends in the audience, and I don't know whether that makes me less nervous or more nervous, but I'll do my best. Although I requested this opportunity on behalf of the foundation, I've asked Anita to join me because we are an inseparable partnership between the foundation and the library. That being the case, both the library and the Library Foundation have adopted the 2025 theme, Invest in Libraries, Empower Minds, and Change Lives. And today we plan on sharing how this guiding principle is already being applied in 2025. So let me start sharing our respective mission and vision statements, and then we'll talk about the library. I will talk about the foundation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. So when it comes to the library, when you think of library, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Yes, books, hard catalogs, right? And books, they're amazing. And they will always, always, always be a huge part of our identity and our service and business model. But when you really think about what a book represents, it's not the thing, right? It's the learning. It's a symbol of literacy. And the role that every public library plays in ensuring that there's access to knowledge and information for the community's benefit or enjoyment. So our mission and our vision that you see here on the screen is to help our community more tangibly identify how we are more than books. We're that place that radically welcomes everybody and brings them together to discover, connect, create, and thrive.
And the foundation's mission, simply put, is to support the library's goal through philanthropy and outreach, but in a way that strengthens its capacity to evoke thriving communities. Our vision is that all of Tacoma will see the library as vital to building a strong, compassionate, and prepared community. And I just want to say, I used the COVID as an example. When COVID hit, the library was in absolute safety net. When schools closed, we gave out 23,000 home instruction kits. We converted parking lots to hotspots so people could use the internet. And even under the restricted circumstances, the library staff delivered. Demand for ebooks went up close to 400% during that period of time. And I'll talk more about this. Some people don't like to hear me say this, and I mean it lovingly. But the library is one of those things that communities have a tendency to take for granted until needed. And I just want to commend the staff. Our work is driven by, next slide. Yeah, good, we're good. We're ahead of me. Our work is driven by several guiding principles. We work to break down barriers of access. We believe that learning is a human right. We foster a culture of teamwork. We are committed stewards of our human environment, environmental, and financial resources. And let me draw on a personal preference quote that I love, and it's very simply, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Amitha will provide an overview of the library's strategic focus and a snapshot of past year achievements.
So back in 2018, right before the pandemic, the library embarked on creating a new strategic plan. It was a time when we had new leadership. It was a good time. So over 2018 and 2019, we did a really deep level of community engagement, asking people not just what they wanted from their library, but what they wanted from their community, from their day-to-day lives. And so from that, not only came the mission and values that you saw, but these strategic priorities. And I think that what I really love about these strategic priorities is not only do they reflect, I think, the interests and priorities of our community, but they're actually very much like the evergreen priorities of what your public library should do wherever it is that you should live. And so since 2020, what we've been doing is within each of these areas, we've set goals, both community goals and operational goals, to help us meet those needs. One of the challenges that we do have is, we are funded through the city's general fund, which can be sort of a tricky source of funding. And as many people know, that funding has fluctuated over the decades, right? We've seen some libraries close, for example. We see that buildings haven't been updated. We also see, for example, that things like our collection budget have actually stayed flat over the decades, even though we have things like electronic resources that have boomed sort of in the last few years. So part of this is sort of our roadmap for how it is that we make decisions, right? And how it is that despite some of the resource constraints that we have, how do we show up for our community as best we can?
So despite the resource constraints, I feel like we've made a lot of really incredible strides. You may or may not know, the library has a social worker now, a full-time staffed social worker that provides services at all of our locations. And this has been actually a game changer for us in so many ways. Our own staff, they've always been resource navigators because we have those desks. People come up and ask us all the time, how do we get food? I need help with this thing, right? But there comes a level of help that just goes beyond what your average library staff member can do. And so now having that embedded social worker has really allowed us to meet needs in incredible ways. If you haven't come to the renovated main library, this is your invitation. It is so cool. And one of the many things that it has is it has a modern day maker space. So we now have a studio that has instruments, it has guitars, it has pianos, it has 3D printers, it has sewing machines, all of these incredible resources to support entrepreneurs of all ages, from our littlest, STEM friends, all the way up through sort of adults. So that's been sort of really incredible. Speaking of STEM, I think that that's an area of literacy that is just so important. So over the last few years, we've really tried to diversify our programming. We continue to offer story times, which is that essential program for learning, reading and writing and all those great early literacy skills. But we're also offering an after-school program in all of our locations called Up and Atom that focuses on different STEM and arts programs. And we now even have video game stations in a number of our libraries that allows kids to game, which is actually a really important way that kids develop literacy. And then, as Wayne touched upon, partnerships have been sort of everything for us. So from that, the health department partnership to now partnering with Tacoma Creates to make sure that there's programming in all of our branches that is connected to our really vibrant arts community. It's been an incredible journey. If you go to the next slide. So that's all great, and then we also just have data, and the question is what does our data tell us? So this data that you see on the screen, this is sort of kind of key metrics that we track year over year. This is from 2024, so it reflects the main library being closed, and we had some branches that were closed temporarily for some repairs. But despite all of those things, and despite being open only 5 days a week and for 40 hours, people use their library in Tacoma. We had almost 500,000 visits sort of last year, which is incredible. We had 1.7 million checkouts that include both of our physical items and our digital items. And I think that what that tells us is, when people think of libraries, I'm sure all of you have thought, do we really need libraries in the age of Google? Do we really need, people ask me that question all the time. I'm sure you've heard it. And it's not that it's not a fair question, but I think if you look at this usage, you can see people absolutely do need their libraries. We can't be everything to everyone, but we have something for everyone in those libraries, whether it's something that they need or something that they desire. And despite sort of the setback that COVID offered for us, in just about all of these metrics, we have either bounced back to our 2019 levels, or we're actually seeing those requests increase. In particular, we're seeing an increase in the number of questions asked at our desks. I like to think of us as the original Genius Bar. Apple stole it from us, I think. But also, we're seeing an increase in that public computer usage and that public Wi-Fi usage. We're continuing to step into those gaps that are only widening sort of in this uncertain climate. So before I turn it back over to Wayne, I did want to let folks know we're in the 5th year of the strategic plan, which is actually the last year of it. So we're in the process of developing a refresh. So over the summer, you'll start to see some surveys and some engagement opportunities in our libraries to tell us what you think is the most important thing the library can be focusing on for the next 5 years. So I hope all of you take that opportunity to let us know how the library can best serve you.
She is so fantastic. So I'd be remiss if I did not acknowledge J.R. Nobles as a board member of the foundation. So the rest of our presentation is really going to be talking about what we're trying to do with the foundation. And one of those things is it's being revitalized. And this includes several steps towards having a greater presence in Tacoma and ultimately providing greater support to our library system of services. Some of our 2025 goals include identifying of enhancing capacity, Ensuring community is aware of the significant contributions the library makes to individuals and community well-being. There are so many anecdotal stories that the community doesn't realize, such as homeless individuals that have been there and the library staff moved them into career opportunities. Developing a well-defined plan which library initiatives the foundation will support. We have a small foundation, 6 members. We can only do so much, so we're going to be very targeted in our efforts going forward. Build a more functional and engaged foundation board, establish a schedule, a plan, annual fund, and fundraiser events. One of the things that we need to do is I would really like to be on more of people's radars. Library Foundation, philanthropic organizations, donor-based opportunities, financial advisors, planned giving, etc. Striving to be on the radar. Next slide. To share some of the 2025 actions related to the aforementioned goals. We have activated a Library Foundation website separating from the library city-linked website. Why is that important? It's important because as a foundation, as a 501c3, we have 2 more liberties than the library does by law or government agencies. So it's important we have our own website so that we can push out communications. We held a very successful VIP grand opening of the Downtown Main Library, and I want to give special thanks to the Bamford and Cheney Foundations that contributed significantly to the new children's learning area. And a number of Rotarians here in the room that supported the event. Thank you. And I had a note about seeing the new renovation, the 2nd floor with our community partners, but I'm going to ditto everything that was said. It's really exciting. Next slide.
It's a party.
Next slide. Okay. So Library Giving Day. Tacoma was one of the first libraries to join what is now a statewide and national initiative. Happens in April of every year. This year's focus has been on literacy. The library and the foundation work together to make this a joint fund development event. And I'm happy to say, due to the foundation's engagement, we exceeded our fundraising goals this year. Related to collaboration, this is the 2nd year the foundation has joined in a coordinated campaign with Pierce County and Puyallup public libraries. We have launched joint campaigns. Our message is, you support one of us, you support all of us. You messed with one of us, you messed with all of us. But some examples of those materials. Next slide. We developed a landing page that carried our strategic focus on literacy, an adopted theme, invest in libraries, power minds, and change lives. And from there, donors could go directly to their public library of choice, Tacoma, Pierce County, or Puyallup. These graphics that you're looking at were largely developed by the Tacoma staff. And you can visually see it depicts the importance of literacy for all people in all ages. Next slide. The foundation partnered with Parks Tacoma to launch its first annual pickleball fundraiser. I'm an avid pickleball player. And I'll say to them, I wanted to do something with them, the normal fundraising luncheon or auction. And although a fun experience was foremost, the tournament's focus on literacy was well received by participants and sponsors. The bridge between literacy and pickleball was the recognition that just as athletics promotes physical and mental well-being, literacy and library programs foster cognitive development, curiosity, and discovery. And good health enhances learning. We were very successful, 10 sponsors, and I would be remiss if I did not point out that your Rotarian Carol Webster and Chris, her husband, were the first to sponsor both the grand opening event and the tournament. And we greatly appreciate it. Okay. Next slide, actions and opportunities going forward. Establish a platform for the foundation messaging, whether it's a corner in the director's monthly report, a monthly newsletter, social media presence, etc. Grow the foundation's contact and donor list and cultivate meaningful relationships with supporters. One of the things that I think everyone in this room probably knows that if you want successful donor campaigns, have a relationship between the asks. And that's one of the things we're trying to do. Stronger coordination with library around volunteerism, project-based activities, and merchandising. Strengthening the foundation's visibility within library branches and throughout Tacoma. Cultivate partnership and sponsorship throughout the year and not just doing fundraising campaigns. And find ways to acquire resources to support the foundation. For an example, we have a great comprehensive relational database, but we don't have the staff to really manage it or populate it. We lean on library staff to some extent, but it's those types of things that we're looking for grants and other ways. And if everyone knows of someone with experience in database management, let me know, please. Lastly, our way forward is to synchronize our rhythms of business with the library through collaboration, community partnership, and belief that there is alignment between doing good and right things. We live in a time of distorted facts, shuffled misinformation, and with factions even wanting to rewrite history. The library guards against these efforts, and in doing so, is a community asset that needs to be protected, preserved, and cherished. I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Julie. Well, not today, unfortunately, but we do have something for you. We have a little book. We do a lot of little free libraries in the community. So if both of you would write something inspirational to some readers in there and leave it for us, we will get that out into the community. Big round of applause, folks. All right, Claire, come on down. It's your turn to talk about our next Thursday at 5.
Hi everyone, Claire with Origin Seafood Network. Okay, by show of hands, who has not been to EFN before? Okay, well, I really especially hope to see all of you at EFN next week, but of course, I'm excited to see all of you at EFN in our new warehouse, the Greens. This is a unique opportunity to come to EFN and not repack anything. You can just come and hang out and enjoy some food and some wine and be in fellowship with Rotarians. As you can imagine, it's really busy at EFN this year, so I'm excited to share more about what's happening at EFN and in our community. But I'm especially just excited to welcome everybody to EFN next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Wayne, I'm going to step back for a second because we have gained a little time. Were there any questions for Anita or Wayne from the crowd today? We got one in the back. It looks like Terry's back there.
Did we not reopen today? It sure did.
We got reopened today. Any other questions that we have? All right. You guys covered everything tremendously well for us, so there were no questions. We do have some announcements coming up. We have the St. Rita Paul store, a grant recipient today. That is on Saturday, June 7th from 10 to 1 p.m. On Friday, June 13th, we have the Tacoma Rescue Mission from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then Claire, oddly enough, on Saturday, June 14th, we have the EFN repack as well. So that time you actually do have to help pack it. You can still have a lot of fun though. A reminder that on Thursday, June 19th, it's Turnover Day in Galleyside. We'll be cruising the beaches down on the Doolin Rogers. This is something that you need to buy your tickets for now. There is a limited number. And carrying on with that one, we had 22 people today not register for the meeting, which involved us getting out a folding table for those people in the back. Thank you for sitting at the folding table, everybody back there. but please just take that 1.5 minutes to register for lunch, to register that you're coming to the meeting so we can be prepared for you. So we have a good experience and La Quinta is happier with us and we don't have to set up tables at the last minute. Thank you, Teresa, wherever you are. But for Galley Side too, that's something where you do need to show up. And I heard a rumor that Teresa's going to be on board serving our bar that night too. So that's exciting. We do have some thank yous for all the people who made this meeting so wonderful today. Wayne and Anita, thank you so much for being here as part of our program. Our Community Grants Committee for being the other part of the program as well. You should have gotten an email from Bill Quante about the softball coming up on July 31st. July 31st. So if you want to be on the team, let Gil know. Randy Kidman for our technical support. Cindy Grady for being our greeter and our roving mic. Justin Jordan for being the four-way test and reading the land acknowledgement. Diane Tilster for the reflection. Sherry Stanton for being our story writer and birthday celebrations. Carol Webster for mix it up seating. Dorothy Lewis for taking our lunch payments. And Jim Henderson for working the registration desk. Reminder, if you'd like to volunteer and help out with anything, please let David know. That's our meeting, everybody. It's a beautiful day, so go out there. Enjoy the magic of Rotary. Meeting adjourned.
I'm not even sure how you did that. I don't even know how you did I just want to let you know. So you couldn't. Well, no, but we appreciate all your so many details. Take that constructively. Yeah.